Welcome back, Motorheads. This is Project Car Finds on Facebook Marketplace, Wagon Edition. First, got a 1951 Plymouth for $9,500. Now, here's one you don't see very often. I don't come across these old Plymouth wagons very often at all. The old Dodge wagons, they're kind of hard to find. This one here looks to be, from the pictures, a pretty decent little project to pick up. Now, $9,500, in my opinion, sounds a little steep, but what do you guys think? Make sure you leave down in the comments what you think about this little Plymouth and what you think of that price. Up next, got a 1965 Ford for $13,000. Here we got another good looking little wagon that you don't come across very often. You see them, they're usually pretty well rotted out. This one here, from the pictures, does appear to be fairly solid from what I can see. The pictures, I wish they could have been a little bit better so we could have got a little bit more closer look. But, like from this picture here, the car actually looks like it might be fairly straight as well. There might not be a whole bunch of mud in this car. But $13,000, is he reaching? I don't know, I'll let you guys be the judge. Make sure you leave it down in the comments what you think of this little Ford here and what you think of that price tag. Next, got a 1972 Ford LTD for $16,725. Now, even though this is not one of my favorite body styles of the old Ford, personally I think they're pretty dang ugly. This one here appears to be in really decent shape. The body looks good, the wood grain still looks pretty good on this, and the interior looks pretty good on this car. Now, like I said, even though it's not one of my favorites, I still think this is a pretty nice little wagon. But I'm not so sure on that price tag, but I'm going to leave that up to you guys. Make sure you tell me what you think of this wagon. And definitely love to hear what you guys think of that price tag. Do you think he's reaching on that number, or do you think that's right in the ballpark of what this wagon should be worth? Next, got a 1967 Pontiac for $29,995. Now, this old Pontiac is pretty dang rough, but it's one of those Pontiacs you don't come across very often. Kind of like that old Plymouth wagon at the beginning. You don't see a lot of these wagons still intact. And I don't necessarily think $29.95 is the best price, but I think that's a good starting point. I think maybe if you can get this around $1,500, this might be something worth actually putting a good eye on and really examining this car very well before handing any money over. Checking the frame, making sure what you have left to work with. $1,500 might not be a bad buy. What do you guys think? Next, got a 1969 Volkswagen for $9,000. Now, these little Volkswagens, they're not everybody's cup of tea. You either love them or you hate these things. Me, I kind of like them, but I like them too chassis to make a full-blown race car out of. But what do you guys think of this, and what do you think of that $9,000 price tag? Next, got a 1957 Chevrolet for $18,000. Now, we all know the Tri-5 wagons. They're a pretty popular wagon. Everybody likes them. Me personally, $18,000, this guy's completely off the mark on this wagon here. I don't feel that this wagon's worth $18,000. I think he's got it in his head because it's a 57. It's one of the popular ones that it's worth $18,000. Me personally, nothing about this 57 screams $18,000. So what do you guys think of this wagon and that price tag? Leave it in the comments. Next, we got a 1966 Chevrolet for $24,800. Now, this is a pretty cool little wagon. He's got some things done to this wagon. Is it worth $24,800? I'm going to let you guys be the judge on that one right there. Overall, I don't think the wagon looks all that bad. I don't think the body's in too bad a shape. And I think he's done a lot of things, like I said, to make this wagon worth a little bit more money. But I personally, I don't like that price tag. But then again, I'm not really a big fan of that Nova either. So, well, I'm just not really a fan of Novas, period. There, I said it. You're coming for me in the comments. Sorry, guys. Just not a fan of Novas, period. It just is what it is. But curious to know what you guys think of this little wagon and what you guys think of that price. If you're enjoying today's video, make sure you smash that like button and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Up next, got a 1956 Chevrolet for $12,000. Here we have another good looking wagon that I feel might be a little bit on the high side for what you're actually getting here. Just because it's a Tri-Fi, you have 55, 56, 57, does not mean you always have a pot of gold. Does not mean that, guys. Now this one here I think is in better condition than the 57, of course, and I think he's got a better price tag on this one here. I would like it better at the 10 mark for what you're getting here, but what do you guys think of this 56 here? Leave it down in the comments. Up next, got a 1965 Dodge for $7,500. Here we got another cool wagon you just don't come across very often. At least I haven't come across one of these in quite a while, especially on Marketplace. I think it's probably been at least 10-15 years since I've actually seen one of these actually in person. So I think this one here is a pretty cool find. I don't like that price tag, but it's still a cool find. Next, got a 1955 Chevrolet for $2,500. Here we got another one of the Tri-Fis, which this one here I think is pretty moderately priced. And $2,500 that you're kind of, you know what you're getting at $2,500 when you buy the Tri-Fi. But this one here, from what you can see in the pictures, yeah, it's got some issues. It definitely needs quite a bit of body work to bring her back around. But you know, this is one of those ones you definitely need to see in person and not make a deal over looking at some pictures. This one here is halfway solid. I don't think $2,500 is too bad a price. What's your guys' thoughts on this little 55? Is that a good price or no? Leave it down in the comments. Next, got a 1961 Chevrolet for $45,000. Ouch! $45,000. I don't like that price. Now, the wagon itself, it's definitely not a bad looking wagon. And, you know, it's been a while since I actually seen one of these in person too. But this one here, it's a nice wagon. It's definitely nice, but I don't think it's $45,000 nice. What do you guys think? Next, got a 1977 Plymouth for $6,900. Now, I have never been a fan of this body style. I always thought they were pretty damn ugly. I thought they were ugly when they first came out. My neighbor had one of these, and I tell you, it was actually a pretty good car, but it was just not attractive. It was just not a good looking car. But this one here is a very clean wagon. I know things lie in the pictures, but this car looks as good as it does in these pictures in person. This is a damn good looking car. This is one you might want to pick up. I think if you can get this car for $5,000, I don't think you're going to get hurt. I think if you're a person looking to get into collecting cars and you like a wagon, I think this might be a damn good buy for somebody. I mean, look at the interior of this thing. The interior looks flawless in there. I don't think you'd be bad at I don't even think you'd be bad at $6,000, honestly. What do you guys think? Next, got 1996 Buick Roadmaster for $4,200. Here we got another good looking old Buick wagon. Now, I wish they would have took some better pictures of this here, because I don't think what they're asking for this car is too terrible. And from what you can see in the pictures, the car does appear to be pretty dang solid. I think you got a good little builder wagon here if somebody's looking to buy their first wagon. And this one here does have the LT1, so I think this will make somebody a really cool cruiser little wagon. What do you guys think of this little Buick, and what do you think of that price? Leave it down in the comments. Up next, got a 1950 Pontiac for $6,500. Well, here's one that's actually one of my favorites on the list, and one that you don't really come across at all anymore, and that's an old Pontiac wagon. Maybe I'm a little more sentimental to it because I just like an old Pontiac. I always thought Pontiacs were pretty dang cool. They were always like one step above the Chevrolet. You know, they just always seem to deliver a little bit more to look, a little bit more flash to them. Now, this wagon here, I don't think that's too terrible of a price he's asking for it, just because you don't come across an old 50 Pontiac. that's still usually intact because everybody's ripped it apart or tore parts off of it or shot holes in it everywhere. But what do you guys think of this Pontiac? What do you think of that price tag? Leave it down in the comments. Next, got a 1954 Chevrolet sedan delivery for $8,500. Now, me personally, I always thought the sedan deliveries were just better looking. I mean, I just think they were the best looking wagon platform out there. And I love the 53 and 54 Chevrolet, 53, 54 Pontiacs. You know, I got problems, guys. I know I like the oddball stuff, and this is not everybody's cup of tea, but I think that's one cool looking sedan delivery right there. And I don't really think the price is too terrible, but I think I would definitely try to get it a little cheaper. What do you guys think of this one? What do you think of that price? Next, got a 1954 Studebaker for $35,000. The Studebaker. You either love them or you hate them. I actually kind of dig them. And this one here, I'm digging a little bit more than I probably should. Now, I don't necessarily agree with the power plant they went with using Ford, but I think this thing might be a fun little critter to get a hold of. I can't justify $35,000 no matter how much I like it. I keep telling myself that. But what do you guys think of this Studebaker? Leave it down in the comments. Well, that's all I got for you today. Like today's video, smash that like button, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.